hello, and well. The nice to be far away, but still home. Bit of homesick, but you know what? Home or away, we start the way we start. I say until the lions have their own historians, the tales of hunting will always glorify the hunter. Hello and welcome to the most opinionated hour on radio and the nation's thought-provoking hour. I am Nana Ansah Kwao IV, Chief of the Little Republic of Akwemu Edumasa, and I say, thank God it's a Monday. Here we are, once again, to perform our favorite ritual with lots of gratitude to God, the greatest gift of life, which is life itself. We have gathered here to learn, to be informed, and above all, to be educated. Every Monday at this time, so please make it a date, make it a point, set your clocks, so you meet us here on Joy 99.7 FM at this time every Monday. It's live on Facebook and on YouTube. So let us all gather and make truth good. The modern day Kumi PrÄko. The modern day Kumi PrÄko. That's our topic today. Folks, it is said in the Akan Palace that when you enjoy a bowl of kinke, remember the farmer who grew the corn. I'm just throwing this in. I'm just saying this because I was reminiscing. I'm saying this so that we appreciate Kwesi Twum for having the courage to put this show on air. No other platform than Joy itself, where, the listeners are knowledgeable and are very, very discerning. But he says, know something? Let's fly with this. And for many, many years, over a decade now, once a week, we come your way with what we call, that's my opinion, probably the most favorite ritual on radio currently. Folks, again, there's a Ghanaian proverb that says, Abaye di botechin, and one ye di boba. Abaye di botechin, and one ye di boba. What is good for the goose is good for the gander. If you go to the Apio bar where they have their own rules, they'll say the hittable stick of techi is returnable to bar. This simple life logic of equality and equity usually become lost amongst folks when they eventually get power. Disappears. Folks, yes, there will forever be issues in any developing country. Sometimes even developed countries will have issues. So that at every given time, there will be a protest or two, one or two issues. Now, how you measure the growth and significance of the development is that the demands of the citizens change as time passes. The demands of the citizens will change. The issues they protest against will change. Now, what is the constant is that there will be demonstrations. That's unavoidable. Because you're not God, you can't please anyone. And so at one point or the other, demonstrations will happen. Again, usually it will happen amongst the median age of the geographical location. The median age. So any government worth their penny should pay extra attention to this age bracket, whatever it is. If you have too many old people in your town, pay attention to them. If you have too many young people, you pay attention. Even though the young ones are more difficult because they are full of energy, they are full of fire, and they are out there to move. So you then have to pay even extra time on that age group. Because leaving them alone, as we have been told severally, is a whole national security issue. But what I want us to pay attention to is the reason for demo and the times. So yes, you can have a situation where at one time maybe people are complaining about unemployment. Maybe at a certain time they are complaining about pensions, and as time goes on, maybe they are complaining about property tax. As the time goes on, as the country develops, you realize that they put policies in there to try and rein in some revenue, and so people agitate as these policies come along. But as time goes back with us, folks, and it can go all the way back from the days of Kumi PrÄko, and maybe even before, the sad part of our demonstration, and not that I don't support demonstration, but the sad part of our demonstration is that I could probably go all the way back to Rekubrobe today and say, Doc, give me your reasons for which you demonstrated against Kumi PrÄko. And I'll bring it all the way today in 2023 and start a demonstration based on the same reasons. That is our sad problem. Unemployment, high exchange rates, corruption, wrong prioritization of government. It doesn't seem to change. It's just the same thing over and over and over, the same reasons. That, I think, is a sad story. And maybe we should rather demonstrate against the state for making us demonstrate for the same issues every year. Every time there's a new government, we take the list. You don't even have to edit it. All you have to do is just change the date. That's all you do. Just change the date. Unemployment, exchange rate, fuel, bad roads, healthcare, hospital access. That's it. Now that is not fair on citizenry. That is not fair on citizenry. And I think we are taking our eye off the ball and just narrowing the fact that, yeah, people have the right to demonstrate. People always have the right to demonstrate. But as citizens, folks, who elect leaders, they can't put us in a position where we complain about the same thing for decades and decades and decades. And so, like clockwork, folks, like clockwork, guaranteed, because we are complaining about the same thing, it means that every government will leave the country in the worst state than it found it, or compound the problems and go, and then we'll come back and complain. Now, here's the funny part. Here is the funny part. So, at one time, go all the way back to Kumi PrÄko. They complained justifiably. They complained, they demonstrated, they hit the roads and everything. Now they are in government. Now they are in government. And if you want to come and complain, and then in that case, no, you have to, you have to do it my way. Who told you that? But if I'm going to complain, if I'm going to express my feelings, if I'm grieving, if I'm crying, why should I cry the way you prescribe it to me? And so, guaranteed, this era is going to pass. The new government is going to come. New set of crop, because by the time those people who complain today, maybe we're a bit older, some will retire, and new fresh people will come, and it will be the same issue. They won't have anything new to complain about. Bad roads, exchange rate, this. It's becoming frustrating, and maybe, for want of a better word, it's becoming insulting on the citizenry. But sometimes, again, maybe power, we haven't tasted that power yet. Maybe I have to taste it, because I don't know what happens when people taste power. Now, I have said maybe it's too much, too quick to just hand power to somebody overnight and just literally imperial power. Now, there's a research that says that people who are about to commit suicide, the chemicals that are released in their brains, so that sometimes when you're trying to talk them out of it, they are unable to see or hear anything because they feel they are in such a bad place, they must end it all. The chemicals released in their brain apparently it's very similar to the chemicals released in the brain when you give somebody too much power. Assembly of the piano. I haven't done any further research to back it, but I intend to believe it. Because, folks, if people say they want to go on a demonstration and complain about hardship, all these thousands and thousands of people who work at the Flagstaff House that we always complain that they are too much, there are so many positions being created, and can't you send even 12, 10, 3, 4, 5 of them to meet these demonstrators? Indeed, if you have a petition, hand it over to me and I'll give it to the president. And the president thanks you for being citizens and not spectators, for voicing out the challenges. And indeed, it is the youth agitation that put government on its toes. And probably I won't be talking about it. It won't hit mainstream media, and then that's it. But as soon as you stop them, get police to arrest people and detain people, you make a whole party and movement of it. But I mean, usually when it gets to that stage, you see in Ethiopia, everybody just gets numb. Everyone just gets numb. So that the very people in government who once upon a time demonstrated, some got beaten, some were bleeding, and complained that it wasn't fair. As soon as it gets to their turns, same thing. What we should be looking at, folks. Now, I know we've all looked at the demonstration and the right to demonstrate and the legalese and inform them 2 days, inform them 3 days, all the technicalities. And I will usually spare you the technicalities. What I am saying is, can we be complaining about the same set of problems for all these years? Who's going to bail us out on that? Who is going to bail us out on that? Maybe that's what has killed the demonstration spirit in the Ghanaian, because usually the average Ghanaian does not even want to come out to demonstrate. The average Ghanaian doesn't want to come out to demonstrate. Maybe this is what is it, because I can't come out, year 1 complaining about roads, year 4 complaining about roads. They get another term, it's an 8-year term, and it's just the same thing. The same place that gets flooded will flood next year and flood next year and flood next year. Yes, we know that certain rains cause flood. No problem. But some of the rains and some of the floods, it clearly tell you that there's something gone wrong somewhere. There's a gutter that's not wide enough. There's a drainage that's blocked or something. So I am probably as disappointed as all of you guys out there. I'm probably as disappointed as all of you guys out there. 2 reasons. That people in government today understand and appreciate that they are hardship. Some of them are international, but the great majority of them is self-inflicted. Priorities, misappropriation of funds, and the news coming from the same government quarters, some of the investigations, some of the monies being found elsewhere, scholarships that's supposed to go to the poor, going to the rich. We are not the ones disseminating this news. It's coming from the same government quarters. So if these things come and the youth think that no, enough is enough, or we should do things better, why should you stop them? Why should you change their route? Demonstrations are supposed to force attention. That's what demonstrations are. If you don't want the demonstration, fix the problem for them. Fix the problem for them. Give them an audience before the time. Give them an audience before time. Or fix the issue. But if we haven't done all that, then we think that because we have the police and the army and all the services under our belt, and you ask yourself, for how long? For how long? Till when? For how long? Till when? Until power changes again. folks, until power changes again. And guess what? The same people who are stopping people from demonstrating today will be in the position where they now want to demonstrate. And then they will come crying to us in the media and the citizenry to say, oh, look at my plight. Fuel prices have gone up. Exchange rate, the same issue, the same list. We're not going to change it, the same list. But I wasn't allowed to use this route. I wasn't allowed to demonstrate on Monday. I wanted to go on Monday. I was asked to come on Friday. And then they leave us just to deliberate back and forth on these issues. It is time, folks, to demonstrate. But let us demonstrate on new issues, that we have solved our old issues, that the currency is stable and coming down, that incomes are going up and people can make. I mean, if you live in a country where less than 50% can add bread to their daily bread, bro, to their daily meal, we aren't going nowhere. Bread, bro, becomes such a luxury that some people can't add bread onto their meal. It doesn't matter how good, how much improvement you have made, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. So yes, I am the first person to say Ghana is definitely the Lone Star and the Black Star. It's definitely a good place to live and stay. It definitely has opportunities, but my God, let the opportunities keep down to the people. Let us take decisions and make policies that give real opportunities to citizens. Encourage them. Because the way we are going, demonstrations will forever come. But sadly, it's always going to be about the same issue. Now, if you leave me, I'll talk and talk and talk and talk. Now, I think it's your turn to talk. And let me hear you. What is the word? If we're going to start complaining about the same issues for a lifetime, same issues, I think it's sad and it's not fair for citizenry. Whoever it is in government, whether this one, the previous, or the one next to come, let our complaints be on something new and not the same old thing. We are tired. Sick and tired of being tired. And it's so ironic that people within the MPP once upon a time were complaining that until the youth were angry enough, things won't change. The youth get angry and you say, hey, hold on, you're too angry. Now let me go and jail you. Nah, that's not right. I mean, let's hit the phones and hear what folks have to say, because I know that people would have a lot to say on this. Ejimon Joseph, I'm sure you're there in Community 9. I miss you greatly. Eugenia Sintimedi, I know you were tuned in. Malek in Adenta is tuned in. And I'm sure all my face, Rami Adom, I got your message. I know you're also tuned in. Beko, let's hit the phones and get the calls coming in. Abu is on the line. Hello, Abu, let me hear you.
Yeah, hello, Nana. Good evening.
Good evening, Abu.
Yes. You see, all the issues you raised. Now, I think you agree with me that those of us who refuse to vote again, we are justified. Do you agree with me, right? Because we vote for the same people and they come and do the same things. So I think we should stop voting and find other ways of solving the whole issue. Because we've voted for, I think, 30 years. The issue gets worse every day. So we have to find a different way of voting. So if people will listen to me, please don't waste your time and go and vote for anybody. Thank you very much.
Abu, we have to go. No question, let me hear you.
I couldn't agree less. But Nana, I'm more in for the demonstration that's been going on. I'm angry myself. And as much as I agree with all that we are doing right now, I think we should also start directing some of the heat to we the people who have been voting and recycling these people into power. Is it not us? Is it not us? So to when we keep recycling the same problem, what will it solve? So at the end of the day, then I'll tend to agree with my brother who just left. What am I voting for? At the end of the day, if I go to the polls, if I've not voted before, the last time I shared my experience here, saying that I have family people who occupy national positions in these two problem parties in this country. So I experienced exactly what politicians are, and it's the reason why I've not voted before. So if we keep recycling every 4 weeks, recycling the same problem over and over again, what are we solving? How can you do the same things and expect different results? And it's not even about the presidency, the parliamentarians too. It's NDC people and the NPP people. Are they the only people? Are they the only Ghanaians? Yeah, I don't even call them Ghanaians. I don't call them Ghanaians because they are not. Maybe they live here, they have Ghanaian passport, they were born here, but they are not. I am the Ghanaian. I am the citizen. I don't follow any of them. I feel what I feel when these people are putting there. So let's direct some of the heat to ourselves, to the people who every 4 years go out there and vote for these people because they are part of the problem. They are part of the problem. Good evening.
Good evening. No Shem mixing your boys on the line. Hello, Shem. Greetings to Asantua.
Good evening. As you were going to UK, you should have packed a few people in your luggage. I'm sure I can know. I'm on front to say luggage.
I know. No, I can't wait to come back home.
Charlie,
I miss the chaos. I miss the chaos.
No, you know my message. It's always.
I know your message. The third force, eh?
No, not the third force. When we even say third, it means that we are trying to put the other party or whoever is going to come in a third position nobody has given to him or her, because it's not as if these two are not mediocre. It's not as if MPP and NDC are not myopic. It's not as if MPP and NDC are not misguided, right? Now, that person who's going to come is definitely not Allen. It's definitely not Kennedy Japan. It's definitely not Baumia. And definitely not Mahama. Look, the first two callers who called, I strongly disagree with them. The word impossible by itself suggests I am possible. Now, if you go and interchange between two political parties, look, it's insanity to do the same thing yet expect different results. Any person who is still in this current Ghana wearing political colored undies, right? You are clearly misguided. Why would you want to bring in quotes? It's not as if I'm trying to why would you want to bring a president who you saw what he did, you changed him, and now that you are looking for a solution to a problem he couldn't solve, you are thinking of bringing him back. That is the highest level of mediocrity any Ghanaian can settle for. Now, let us look outside of all these so-called political people who have nice resumes and I have done this, and I'm a businessman, and I can do this. Now, let us look amongst the lot. This is a message to the media. We don't want to see panel with MPP here, NDC here, MPP. We are sick and tired. They have failed woefully. They have failed. Vote for them. They have failed. Nobody should come out and try and pick and choose. And this, I did half. Whilst you have resources to get to 1,000, you deliberately get to 1, and the other gets 1.5, and you want me to applaud the 1.5. Are you joking? We are in 2023. Are you joking? Look, Ghana Nibia old saying, we should go out massively and go and vote. We already know what they do. We already know they bus people to go and vote for them. If not, they will bus people and you will sit in your house and they will choose somebody for you, and for the next 4 years, you will live a dreaded life. We should all go out in our numbers. We should queue, but definitely not put it for MPP and NDC. Definitely not go and don't fall for Allen Street. He is not going to do anything new. We have seen this before. President Kufuor did it. Please, I'm not attacking anybody, but I'm only speaking to facts. If he wanted to resign from the political party, he should have done that way back. If Kennedy Japan wanted to do something, we should have seen these people doing these things. It's not now that they crave for the power. No, please, we shouldn't do that. But let's look for the other people. Let's hear new voices. Let's hear new people who don't have any bad records. Then Ghana will
Sir, thank you. Thank you
that's our
very
only
much. I got Peter on the line. Peter. Have I got Peter?
Hello.
Hi, Peter.
Hello.
Yes, Peter, let me hear you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, I'm Peter calling from Akose.
Peter, let me hear you.
Yeah, it seems when people are in opposition, they see the problems of the country. Immediately they come to power, they don't see the problems again. More especially this most corrupt government who has brought his relatives around himself to enrich themselves and their family. They borrow more than any other government, but they don't have anything to show for it. And this particular person, he's not ready to allow the citizens to demonstrate. You say something, you are taking, they look at you in a different way. This most corrupt
Peter, we say the president, but maybe it was the police. Maybe the president.
I'm done.
So I hear Peter. Let me speak to Michael, but I'm saying, who knows? The president is out of town. So maybe it was just the police who stopped the people and not the president. We can't just point a blame at it. Michael, let me hear you.
Hello.
Hello, Michael.
Yeah. Good evening.
Good evening. What made you pick the phone?
It's been a while.
Yes, sir.
Yes. My point is, why is it difficult for us to call out the current president for all the shortfall, for all that we are going through? Because the way he criticized the former government, and especially the former president, why is it difficult that anyone who comes on there, we are not able to call him out? He must be blamed for everything that is happening. The buck stops with him. Currently, he is at the United Nations. He was addressing the United Nations, talking of money. He only talks of money. What has he done with all that he has gotten? Other presidents have gone. Listen to the South African president and listen to his address. What has our president said at the United Nations? This man doesn't care about this country. Together with his cohorts, they have destroyed this country, and this generation is to be blamed as well. The youth, they voted for him, and so they have gotten what they deserve. Thank you.
Thank you for picking up the call, picking up the phone and calling the show. That's my opinion. Modern day Kumi PrÄko. I am talking about the issue of demonstration. And I'm looking at it from the other side as usual. That how is it that, yes, we demonstrate, like anybody else, any civilized country, non-civilized country, don't say. But our sad part is that we demonstrate, and the list of reasons why we demonstrate doesn't change. It only gets worse. It only gets worse. And I think it's such an affront, an insult onto society, that every 4 years you come out and it's the same thing. Peter is in Mataeko. Peter, let me hear you.
Hello?
Peter, let me hear you. Yes, Peter, let me hear you.
Okay, good evening.
Good evening.
I'm a youth of 19 years, but most of the time when they use the same old folks that will say the youth are disrespectful and all that. I can't remember since this year or last year where the president was good. The same member of government came out and was like, why would you go to Nama, the same stuff that you guys say. And, you know, they say the old folks got their rights and all that. And the presidency is for those old people. Why don't they bring the presidency to about 35 so that the youth can get into office and do something better? And I have been voting for all these people, and they keep doing the same stuff, and we keep complaining and all that. So this is what I can contribute this evening. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. How old did you say you are? 19? Oh, okay. I dropped that. Ajimai, let me hear you.
Yeah, good evening, and I hope you're doing well.
I'm very well, Ajimai.
God be with you wherever you are.
Yes. I can't wait to come home.
Yes. And I buy the boat, it's true. It looks as if we are marking time because during a certain party's time, whatever we were complaining of, we are still complaining of the same thing. Nothing is changing. And it looks as if the politicians are taking us for granted. But the issue is, somebody was saying that we keep on rotating them. The question is, apart from NDC MPP, whom should we go for? But to me, though I don't want to be a bit biased, for me, I think one of them is better than the other. Just that, only just that, with MPP, they have something to stand on, that during their time, they are saying they started war. But the global crisis and this kind of COVID issue is something that they are standing on. Supposing there wasn't COVID and Russia-Ukraine war, you would have measured them well. Secondly, I think it's not to be siding with you when you say that if those days there was Kumi PrÄko demonstration, they should allow these people to do their demonstration. Nobody is stopping them. But the only thing is they should pass through the right channel. I learned there was a court injunction. But two wrongs will not make one right. If there was a court injunction and they went ahead to do the demonstration, you, the police, you are not the court. Yours is to protect, not to harass. So that's what I have to say, Nana. God be with you.
Thank you. God be with you too, my brother. Thank you very much. Yeboah is in Tema. Hello, Yeboah. What made you pick the phone this evening?
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah. Please, I want to also contribute. Our problem in Ghana today is who the left. We have voters who will vote for this, our MPs and then the parliament, the president. Anytime there is election, they will come to us, give us money, and then we talk to them. Look, we have somebody who has been in parliament for about 5 consecutive times. For 20 years, and our constitution is not developed. I will still vote for the president because the party. If we were to vote on issues, if you don't deliver, we'll take you out. Or if we also
Your boy,
to be able to vote for us.
Sorry, your line was really bad. I really wanted to hear what you say. But Francis is on the line. Francis, what made you pick the call this evening?
Hello, Nana. Good evening.
Good evening.
Nana, I think that you rightly said that from government to government, demonstration has been against the same thing. So I think next time we should interrogate whosoever wants to govern. What will you do differently from what has been done all along? Instead of listening to, I'll do this for you, I'll do this for you, I'll do this for you. Let them tell us what they will do differently so that we make the change of whatever we expect. But we are afraid that with the same thing happening the same time, that means the governance has been the same model all the time, following the same thing. So let's interrogate. What will you do differently? Thank you.
Thank you. What would you do and how will you do it? 0302-216-541. 0302-216-541. Sorry, 0302-216-541. What will you do differently? Oh, I will give you jobs. I will create jobs. Thank you very much. How will you create the jobs? Who is going to do the job? Where is the job going to be? What qualifications do I need to have to be able to do that job which you're going to create? All those things sometimes get lost. Oh, I will create jobs. I'll create 1 million jobs. Hey, Nana Ama is in Tema. Hello, Nana Ama. Nana Ama, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Nana. Good evening.
Start again. I lost you in the beginning, so start again.
I said I could hear you. I just said good evening to you.
Oh, your reception is really bad. Can barely hear you.
So, are you able to hear me now? Hello, Nana. Hello, Nana. Can you hear me? Hello, Nana. Can you hear me now? So I'm saying that I agree with some of the people who have called about voting. Why do you go and vote for the same issues to present themselves year on, year on? Somebody also said, if you don't vote, then they will bus people and go and vote for you. I will not vote. The only reason I will not vote would be that it would pain me to go and vote somebody into power for him to come and lord over me and do nothing to better my lot. So I am better off sitting down and saying, okay, this person is doing A, B, C, D. I did not vote for him or I did not vote for her. It makes me even feel better because I will feel very stupid to sit back and say I voted for A, B, C, D and I am part of the problem. You know, I vote for you and then you come and misappropriate funds. You come and enrich yourself. I would be better off sitting back and saying somebody else took the decision. That is why these stupid things are happening in my country. I can't afford to think for once that I also put you there to come and do this thing to me. It is the only reason I will not vote. I do not have a third force. I mean, I can't see a third force in anybody. And the way we are, even as citizens, sometimes I wonder if we bring Jesus Christ down to come and rule over us, we might not be able to get where we are going to. It is not just about the politicians. It is us. It is us. We empower them. We go along with what they are doing for a very selfish interest. I do not want to go ahead and mention it, but how can one person have so much money? How? And we have the dollar rising. It is creating issues for manufacturers. It is creating issues for people who are into business who need the dollars. Because guess what? We don't make anything in our country. We import. And even with importation, somebody has stashed the dollars in their pocket. And so I need it to be able to import raw material to do something. I can't get it. I'm buying it at 15 cents. How on earth? How did we get here, Ghana? It saddens me. I have never thought of living outside the country ever since I was born. But for the first time in my life, in how many years now, I am seriously considering it. Why? Why do I want to go and be a second-class citizen somewhere else? But where I am a first-class citizen in Ghana, I am being treated like rot. So I am better off going to be a second-class citizen somewhere else. At least I'll get my lights on. I'll get water to drink. I'll get to get my kids in better educational systems. I mean, look at this. Like, seriously, Nana. I am sad.
I think I share your sentiments. I think I share your sentiment, but I still stand against that. You know, our chaos is the best. You know, our country is the best, and I love the chaos. I miss. I'll come back. Stay there. Don't run away. Hayford is on the line. Hello, Hayford. Let me talk to you.
Yeah. Good evening, Nana.
Good evening.
Yeah, thank God. I perfectly agree with the first person who spoke earlier that wasting time to go and vote. At the end of the day, you go and waste your time over there, but you don't get anything as you wish that when you go and spend your time over there, you get back. So it is possible that we, the youth, we think that, or we take it consideration that it's not able to go and waste our time over there, and we find a way that we can use to solve our problems in this country. Because if you go there and be wasting your time over there, at the long run, you will not really get anything back again. So that is my contribution to you.
Thank you very much. But you see, like I'm saying, I mean, I agree with people who demonstrate. By all means, there will be demonstrations. Because life is so dynamic, at one point in time, you would agitate over something that you're not happy about. But I'm just saying that for us, that every time, no matter how dynamic and fast-moving this world is, we are complaining about the same thing: ministers, unexplained wealth, indisciplining of us, our own indiscipline. We keep empowering the same people. I mean, it's just the same. It never changes. Only gets worse. That's not fair. Kofi, you're in Medina. What made you pick the phone today?
Well, Ghana made me take the phone.
Good. Let me hear you, my brother.
Crazy. So my partner happened to be work in the health sector, and I happened to visit her one of the days, and it was light off. And I realized the whole hospital was in darkness. So I asked, "Don't you guys have a generator or something?" And he said no. And I was so shocked and surprised. And I asked, "So what is this?" They said, "This is a place where they do surgery." And I asked, "What is there's a surgery going on?" She said, And I said, So what are the management doing about this? They said, well, when they complain, they say they are also working on it, and whoever it is that they have to go to is not forthcoming with it, and blah, blah, blah. The basic need. You see, this is somebody who has been, just like my sister said, my partner has been wanting to travel outside the country to go and work. And I've been discouraging the idea, but ever since I visited her and experienced it, I'm actually the one encouraging her to move, and we are working on it. Nana, it might not sound well, but see, these are basic things. So I keep saying these are basic things. You need to get the basics right, then you build on it. Common generator to power a hospital, a place that we save life, they don't have. And this is a very big hospital. A big hospital. And it happens it's one basic issue in every aspect of our lives, in various institutions. And it's killing us, Nana. So those of us who will leave, will leave. And those who stay, will stay. Good evening.
Good evening, Kuku. Delfinos is in Accra Central. Delfinos, what made you pick the phone this evening?
Yes, I am calling because of the question you were asking. That how do we change the situation? Every time we keep complaining about the same things. And I think one of the problems we have is our constitution. Yes. The way the constitution was framed, giving so much power to the president where he can appoint all heads of institutions. At the very moment he goes out of office, the next president comes and then he moves everybody out. So we will have to change the constitution, limiting the powers of the president.
You think if we change the constitution, we may see a bit more development? I don't know.
Yes, I believe so, because the way the constitution has been framed, where the president appoints IGP, Chief Justice and all that, and because he appoints them, people are always suspicious of these people that he appoints. I mean, not only that, he appoints heads of various institutions in the country. And I think that is the problem. Because the general populace do not trust those people because they think they are all partisans, they are all there to please the president. So I think until we are able to change that, we may continue to have the same problems. And one problem we also have is making our laws work. A lot of things go wrong in the society, and it's like the police are simply maybe helpless. You see, so until we're able to change some of those things, I think.
Thank you very much, there, my brother. Cloud, what made you pick the phone this evening?
Yes, Nana. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, I think we need to have clarity on things that we do. Now, if the system of governance is not working, maybe everybody is saying, let's go and demonstrate against the Jubilee House. Who has oversight over the president? It is Parliament. And Parliament enacts laws. If things are not working, I think we should demonstrate against Parliament, but not get parliamentarians joining in a demonstration against the president when it's their duty to check the presidency. You know, opposition will come and say they oppose everything maybe government brings, instead of maybe looking at how to add up onto it, modify it, because you look at it from the beginning. Once they say it's an opposition, anything government brings, they oppose, not looking at the little good in it to help. I think we need to have the right attitude towards our country.
So you are concerned about who they are putting the pressure on.
Yes, it's supposed to be Parliament. You know, the president has taken more than he can chew. You know, free SHS, taking on nurses, doing over interchanges, so many things. And, you know, I think he's taking more than he can chew. And that is putting pressure on the whole economy.
Let me go to Nat. Nat is on the phone. Nat, what made you pick the phone this evening? Hello, Nat.
Yeah, hello, Nana.
Yes, my brother. What made you pick the phone this evening?
It is all about the love of.
Good. Let me hear you. Oh, I think that line is dropped. 0302 216 541. 0302 216 541. I think we should strive for a Ghana where the next generation will complain about something that we didn't complain about. So we can't go and complain about corruption. And then the next generation comes complain about. No, we should be able to solve the things we complain about. And then as life changes and gets dynamic, the kids who come or the next generation that come will find another space with which they want to agitate to make it better. Then that way our demonstrations are being meaningful, becoming significant, becoming worthwhile. Then it makes people get up to go and vote. Yes, I have to go and vote. Otherwise, everybody calls and says, Irene, what made you pick the call from this evening?
Yeah, hello.
Hello, Irene.
Yeah. Actually, I want to contribute to the topic we're treating today.
And I want to hear you.
You said?
I said I want to hear your contribution.
Oh, okay. You see, with this constitution, we Ghanaians and then our politicians have made everything scattered to the extent that even the youth doesn't have works to do. And then even as I'm talking to you, the school system has even spoiled to the extent that at first we used to have 3 months for a term. And now a child just vacates, comes home, and then 1 week you are going to pay another school fees for another term. You see, which is very bad. And then everything is scattered, everything is mesmerized. We just don't know what we are doing. A lot of the youth are running from the country, which is not even supposed to be so. As I'm talking to you, I had a cousin who was just going to give birth recently with her firstborn, and then out of a doctor's negligence, she got stroke out of it. You see? And then she's still in the hospital out of one doctor's negligence. And then we were told that her heart failed and then a whole lot, blah, blah, blah. Later, before we got to know, our cousin has stroke. Meanwhile, she walked to the hospital, but now she's in a wheelchair, she can't talk, and a whole lot, you see. And we have to pay every bill. Meanwhile, if it is some different, even other countries and stuff, maybe we would have had some insurance or something to cover us. But everything is scattered. Why would I go and vote for a president to rule Ghana, and then me knowing that, this president is going to help the economy, and then for the betterment of our generation, and then at the end,
Irene,
that same person is going to make everything.
Sorry about your cousin. Really sad story there. But Ebenezer, you are my last caller. Let me hear you.
Thank you very much. Good evening, Nana.
Good evening.
Yes, I will make it snappy. First off, what do we want as a nation? What do we want as a nation? It's only unless and until we answer that we will be able to make headway, because we have a huge problem, and what is even sadder is that we don't even realize we have a problem. But by way of winding up, I strongly disagree with you on your idiom that what is good for the goose is good for the gander. Because if you give the goose a sanitary pad, he will be able to make use of it. But if you of what you use in that sanity part,
thank you very much. My time is gone. But guys, stay tuned. Faustina is there to give you your news bulletin, and I'm sure Kofi Hayford will come and give you some real soul-searching songs while we think of how it is that we can find a nation where the things we complain about will be solved, so that the next generations don't come and repeat the things that we demonstrated over. I am Nana Ansah Kwao IV, Chief of the Little Republic of Akomedu Masa. Next Monday, God willing, we'll be back to do this all over again. Abeku Sankofi was on the ones and twos. And thank you all for tuning in. Stay tuned for Faustina.